Pound the ball to the floor with authority and put that ball in the hole. High fives all around as this show promises to be aces. We bring you all the winners. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. We've got some good highlights tonight.
Well, we have a couple, not as many as we might have hoped. The season is getting underway. We have the final previews of the spring season. But hopefully, by the end of this week, everyone will have played at least game one.
Well, yeah, and my favorite part of the show tonight, Jerry Grant's here.
That's correct.
I'm excited for that.
We will get to Jerry in just a moment, but we start with the volleyball team. Last week we talked about the boys volleyball team, their first ever varsity game, their first ever varsity win. Now we get to talk about their first ever win streak. The Cardinals made it 2 in a row when they hosted Champlin Park last Wednesday, and they did it in convincing fashion, getting stronger throughout as they earned their first ever conference sweep. A lot of firsts in this program. Tight contest in the first set. Cardinals getting their big gun going early. Griffin Garbo putting the hammer down from the right side. Coach Rosita's squad playing with the lead, but not able to pull away. They do finish strong, though. They go back to Garbo from midcourt. This time, he had a team-high 12 kills. Cards win the first set, 25-23. Home team able to get a little separation in the second. This time, they set it up for senior captain Julian Vang. Great cross-court shot for the winner there. Defense coming up big in this one as well. Ryan Mo Ullman has the huge stuff block right there. That helps Coon Rapids to a 25-17 win in the second set. Cardinals keeping the momentum going in the third. Really athletic effort from Ben Yang, but the Rebels are able to return it. Then Lucas Yang, quick tip over the net, caught him napping. And the team firing on all cylinders. They keep the roll going. Good setup for Ben Yang. He gets the kill. Cardinals get out the brooms and sweep up with a 25-13 win in the third set. So kind of what they had hoped for. We talked with Coach Rositas and some of the others when we were there for the opener on Monday. They felt like Elk River was a great test, very evenly matched for them. Felt that some of their other teams that they would face, they should have a more decided advantage.
Yeah, and we weren't sure, I mean, obviously coming in, they don't have a lot of height, quite obviously, and Elk River did have some height up front.
They did.
But they really controlled them, and I was really impressed with this team, and then to come back and sweep Champlin Park the next game, that was pretty exciting as well. Yeah,
they are at Blaine actually on the court right now as we sit here on the set. We'll have those results for you next week on Sports Night. They will host Anoka on Wednesday, and Howie.
We'll be there!
Yes, we will.
Okay. Well, we're not going to talk about previous tennis, I guess, huh? Because we're having a few difficulties tonight, but let's just get into the tennis team. The tennis team got its season started on Thursday, hosting conference rival Anoka. Cardinals showed strength at the top of their lineup. Unfortunately, they came up short against the Tornadoes. Still, it sets a foundation for this young squad, and they plan to keep getting better all year long. CTN was there for the opener, and we're treated to some outstanding tennis. First singles, Cooper Held taking on Anoka's Aiden Belke. Belke with a great couple of plays at the net, but Held will go cross-court on the backhand for the winner. He was pretty much in control start to finish. Held in his second season as the starter at first singles, and his game has clearly grown. He showed all aspects on Thursday, and he won comfortably 6-1, 6-1. Nikolai Hirsimaki serving at the first doubles for the Cardinals, as we're going to see up here. There we go. And Austin Hacker, the two of them got off to a great start as well, taking the first set 6-1. The Tornadoes, they kept the second set a little closer, but the Cardinals are still able to win in straight sets. They take the second set with a 6-3 final. Unfortunately, those were the only Cardinals wins as they fall by a score of 5-2.
Yeah, it was fun to be there, and I was really impressed with Cooper Held's game. Not surprised by anything I saw, but he looked very strong for it to be a season opener. Hirsimaki and Hacker also, despite the little bit of, they had the chance, it seemed, to put them away early in the second set, were unable to do so, but they rebounded strong to finish.
Yeah, and Nikolai, I can say your name correct. I practiced it, I made sure I did, and there it goes.
from here on out, please forgive him.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, they were supposed to be at a tournament at Cretin-Durham Hall. Unfortunately, that was canceled. But Sartell was in town, so the Cardinals said, hey, why not come to our place and we'll play just a head-to-head, and that's what they did. Turns out Sartell is one of the favorites in their section. They are a very good team. They won 6-1. They just played pro sets, 1st to 8. Hacker and Hirsamaki are the only winners, winning 8-4 at first doubles. You see Demmer and Ryland were lost 6-8 at second doubles. Held was 2-8, as was Davidson at fourth singles, also 2-8. Baseball and softball teams. Oh, I should mention tennis team. Got to go back to that. They're at Elk River on Wednesday this week. They host Blaine next Tuesday. Baseball and softball teams were set to open the season last Thursday as well over at Totino Grace. Those games were both postponed. The girls have that on the schedule this week. The baseball team pushed it out until next week. So the boys will open their schedule at home against Centennial on Tuesday. And Howie,
we'll be there.
They will be at Elk River on Thursday. For the girls, they will also host Centennial on Thursday. They'll get the makeup game at Totino in on Wednesday before heading to Elk River on Thursday. The track teams went south over the weekend and took part in the Minnesota State Mankato Relay Championships. Just kind of a different event. There's some different relays that you'll never see throughout the season, but it's a fun event. And both boys and girls teams did well. The boys finished in second place. You see a first place finish for the 4x4 relay. 4x2 finished in second. Ka was second place in the pole vault relay. I'm not sure exactly how some of these relays work, but Jacoby Peterson was third in the shot put relay. Davian Aluka was third in the high jump. A mere 6 foot. After starting with a 6'6" jump, he had an off day apparently. I don't want to mispronounce the name, but I guarantee I'm going to. Abiga was fifth in the long jump. Robinson was sixth in the 60-meter hurdles relay. And the 1600 sprint relay, as the Cardinals finished in sixth place. On the girls' side, they finished in fifth. I think there were like 8 teams total. Shania Horton was first place in the high jump, and she also finished like 5th place in the long jump, I think. Angel Marshall, second place on the pole vault, with Callie Barker right behind her. A couple of the gymnastics leaders finishing well in the pole vault. Relay teams had a couple of nice finishes. 4x4 was third, 4x2 was fifth, as was 4x8. Ruby Demmer finished 5th place in the 1600-meter run relay, and Uday was 7th place in the 60-meter dash relay. And they are at Andover for a quad on Thursday this week. Then they will have a tri-meet over at Robbinsdale Armstrong next week.
Yeah, good stuff coming up. I'm looking forward to watching this track team, progress, because they've got some really good athletes, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's been a nice start. I'm looking forward to seeing the baseball team as well.
I will.
It's awesome that we get the season opener. I don't ever like to see delays, obviously, but when it means that we get to see the season opener, we're not complaining too much.
No,
right?
definitely not. Well, a lot of teams played on Friday.
They did.
And I talked to Elk River's coach today, and he was a little surprised that they didn't play some games on Friday, maybe get that into that. But we get to see him tomorrow.
I'm not in control. The boys golf team opens its season on Thursday with the Bunker Hills Invite. The girls start their season next week. Our Jerry Grant caught up with both teams, and he joins us now with a little season preview. Jerry.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Well, you look at it all, and first of all, the snow is gone. Check. Let's see. Let's hope it stays that way. Secondly, the range is open. The players have been out hitting a lot of golf balls. Third, the day I did the interviews, they were out playing the course in groups, trying to get used to the course, get ready for that invite coming up. So I caught up to these players and the coaches. They had a lot to say about the season. Here's what they had to say.
The competition level is high as the Coon Rapids boys golf team gears up for a new season. 2 veteran captains lead the way, but after them, Time will tell if the young talent on the team can rise to the top and solidify the roster.
I really think our young talent is really good this year. And I think we have a chance to do some pretty cool things. I'm really excited to see, especially some ninth graders grow and feel a little bit more comfortable and open up into the game. And I think we have the coaching staff, the captains, and everybody to do it. I think we have everything we need, especially at a nice course like this. There's really no excuses.
But I think it will be a success if some of the younger guys step up and start working their way, so that in a year or two, that they'll be shooting really good scores, even if we don't see the results right away this year. I think it's a good building year.
Well, honestly, we have 2 varsity returners who are solid varsity guys last year. But after that, we've got 4 other varsity spots that are really up for grabs for some guys who played a lot of JV last year, maybe a little bit of varsity. But there'll be some competition for those varsity spots for sure. And then we got some of the young guys. We got a lot of ninth graders coming in who love to play golf.
With an influx of ninth graders, the captains and coaches will offer guidance and mentoring to vault their games to the next level.
Yeah, I think we're going to just try to be really good leaders, set a really good example for others, and then obviously stay long hours, and then also help other people who need help or want help, and hopefully they just look up to that and follow along.
And I think really just being kind of a mentor. As a senior and as a captain, there's a lot less stress. That means we can take a little bit of our focus and put it towards those younger guys and just help them excel and not just play good, but feel comfortable, feel welcome. Like this is a place where they can ask questions, where they can ask for guidance or ask for help, even if it's on the range or on the course.
Building this team through mentoring and coaching could pay dividends as the season moves along. A competitive drive fuels this group, and success could follow.
I feel like we've got a group that really wants to be competitive. Maybe there's a little bit more of that edge to this group than some other ones. And how that translates to the standings and scores, we'll see.
I think a top 10 finish is definitely within reason, and maybe even shoot for the stars and try and get a top 5 or do even better. Have no ceiling, right? Set no limit. If we keep working, I think we can get a top 10 and get a good finish this season at least.
I feel like we have like a solid top 4. We could definitely see ourselves in the top 10.
Go Cardinals.
The Coon Rapids girls golf team is looking to ramp up the competition level this year while maintaining a love for the sport.
I would say a good team goal is to get a few wins. Last year we struggled a little bit, and to have some lower numbers just come across.
Well, in the past few years we've been a little bit lower in the conference. I would like to see us in the top 10, but ultimately I'm trying to create some lifelong golfers here. I want them leaving the season having made a lot of memories with each other, finding themselves, have reached some personal goals, and measuring success that way as a squad. I know it's an individual sport that we find a way to be competitive in, but it's about them falling in love with the game. So that's our ultimate goal.
Loving the game is one good reason for new golfers to join the squad, and both captains commented on this.
Mostly I'm just spreading the word, letting people know that golf is here and it's fun. I just hope to keep growing numbers, and because the more people that show up, the better we get.
I think the friends and the environment and how we're not like strict, but we can still know how to have fun and play good golf, and we get to miss a lot of school. So that's fun.
Missing some school on a nice day is not a bad thing, but the thinking process doesn't quit while on the golf course.
The most important 6 inches of golf is between the ears. You got to really believe in yourself. You got to build some confidence, and it starts with compressing the ball, striking the ball. It's all about that swing.
He really enforces like clearing your head after every shot and just let it go by. And if it's a bad shot, it's a bad shot. So many people have them, it doesn't matter.
What does matter is improvement, and this team is already showing signs of that.
Super good. We've been out on the range and in the simulator room. I get to see a bunch of the new faces. They're getting better super fast.
So you just got to trust the process, and I feel that's a big thing in golf too. Like if you're on the range every day, you're going to see outcome.
And we have 5 freshmen, an 8th grader, like I said. We do have a rather large senior class with 9 that will be graduating, but 9 leaders. So we're going to make the most of the next 10 weeks.
So a lot of good stuff, Jerry. Some wide open competition on the boys' side and a lot of seniors on the girls' side.
Yeah, well, the one thing I saw about the boys' side, they're pretty excited about a lot of the ninth graders coming up because they feel some of these kids have some pretty good game already. So it's just a matter of teaching them how to play high school golf, how to manage the course a little better so they can shave a stroke or two off. And then for the girls, they're just happy they have numbers, good numbers this year. And some of these kids haven't played a lot of golf, but they're good athletes. And maybe you can teach a good athlete how to play golf, and I think that's a good challenge for Coach Keeney and the captains.
Jerry, like Coach Keeney said, a lot of it's in between the years, and how much did you see from these kids in terms of, it's really important for us to focus on our game and not kind of drift off course.
Well, first thing that I saw, they're not drifting at all. They're par for the course, I'll tell you that right now. And the one thing they're doing well is they started in the simulator. So they were inside hitting golf balls before the weather got nice, and now they're out in the range, they're hitting balls, they're putting in the time, and if you do that, you can get better at golf.
Excellent.
Well, let's hope that the weather continues to cooperate. As we talked about, the boys will host the Bunker Hills Invitational on Thursday. That's a huge tournament. They are at North Fork for the first Northwest Suburban Conference tournament next week on Thursday. Girls go back-to-back at Blaine on Wednesday next week, at Champlin Park on Thursday, and we will obviously be continuing to follow them throughout the season. The lacrosse teams get their season started this week as well on Thursday. Both programs are now combined with Spring Lake Park. This is the 5th year of the co-op for the boys team. They're pretty pumped up about the group they've got coming in, and they believe this is a year they could make some big moves.
I think we're going to surprise a lot of people this year.
The boys lacrosse team finished just below 500 last year. And while they lost some key pieces, they're really excited about the group that's stepping up to fill those holes.
I think we're a mix of experience and really young talent. We're going to have a handful of 9th grade players who are going to be contributors and key contributors for us.
There could even be a couple of middle schoolers getting varsity time this spring. And it's not because they're short on numbers. It's because the youngsters are bringing some serious skills and smarts.
The ability to pass and catch from our younger guys, and they have great shots. They have really good, actually, lacrosse IQ for sure. They know what they're doing out there, which is really nice to have.
Still, there will be a steep learning curve to get those guys up to varsity speed as quickly as possible. So that's the team's focus to start the season.
Making sure all the boys are on the same track, just because we're going to have so many freshmen stepping up, and it's hard for freshmen to step up and really take that varsity role right away. So that's going to be important that we are all together, through this process.
They do return a solid base. Scramstead is a 4-year starter in goal, and he's committed to play D3 lacrosse in Ithaca, New York next season. Plus, they return all 3 attackers, including 2 that combined for 62 points last season.
And then midfield, we've got a lot more depth at midfield on the offensive side this year than we have in the past couple of years. So I'm really looking forward to those boys stepping in and see what they can do. I think they'll have a lot of success.
Early on, the boys know they need to improve on all aspects of their game. It starts with limiting time in the defensive end and making sure they jump on opportunities to get the ball upfield.
Clears are also going to be a very important factor inside with our team. I mean, so many goals last year were scored on failed clears and just second time opportunities. So hopefully we can cut that out a little bit and have a better clear percentage and first time defense percentage as well.
Possession is critical in lacrosse. These guys know they need to take their time to ensure they're getting good looks every time they have the ball.
So I think possession is going to be key for us to just slow the ball down, pass it around a couple times, just really possess the ball and then run our sets of plays.
The team's schedule should give them a chance to find some success. Still, their conference includes some of the best in the state. The guys say they're ready for every challenge, and win, lose, or draw, they'll leave it all on the field, and they'll do it as one team.
Being together as a family, lacrosse season is always one of my favorite times of the year. We always have a lot of fun. We can always joke around and still play super hard in the field.
So interesting to see what they can bring. They did lose quite a bit, but they seem really fired up, and just everybody we talked to kept going back to the young guys, how talented they are, how smart they are, how eager they are to play, and how fired up they come in every day trying to get better and push to be varsity players.
Yeah, and I think, the key for those young guys is to look what those guys did last year, some of the guys who left, and learn from those things, learn from some of the mistakes they made, and carry some of the positive things over till this season.
Yeah, they will start at Simley on Thursday. A couple of non-conference games that they really have a good chance this year, and that one is one of them. Simley hasn't won a game in 2 years. Then their first conference opponent is Andover next Monday, and the Huskies will definitely be good.
No question. Well, the girls' lacrosse season will also start on Thursday. Unfortunately, though, there will be no Coon Rapids squad this season. They didn't have enough girls to field their own team, so they were forced to make the tough decision to fold. The good news is AD Jeff Monty Hall Thompson was able to make a deal and expand the SLPCR partnership to yet another sport.
It was very last minute. We didn't hear anything about us combining till about January.
Senior captain Katie Wiggin would have been the Cardinals' top returning player. Instead, she'll wear a former rival's crest on her chest for her final season.
Sadly, CR is no longer. We're just Coon Rapids girls on the Spring Lake Park team.
A little disappointing? Sure. It wasn't a huge surprise, though, and it could work out better for everyone.
Lacrosse is already such a small sport that I don't ever want girls to lose the opportunity to play. So we opened up our program, and
the SLPCR connection is already well established, so it was a natural fit to bring these two teams together.
It's just a really tight team, and I love all the girls on it. And now with Coon Rapids, it's great because we're adding more people, and it's like adding more people to your family.
The Cardinals hadn't won a game since 2022. Spring Lake Park, meanwhile, finished last year's regular season 7-7. Now everyone's hoping adding the Coon Rapids players will be the bump the Panthers need to get over the hump.
I think we have a lot of really tough opponents this year, but I'm also really excited. I think we had a lot of really competitive matches last year, and I think we've only gotten better, and we're only going to grow on the foundation that we've built.
It may take a little bit for the team to truly mesh, but it's been a main focus since day one. It started at captain's practices, continued during two-a-days last week, and it won't stop as they move through the season.
Just working as one unit. Our motto this year is unity starts with you. We just work really well together. And we had our first 7-on-7 little scrimmage yesterday at practice, and both defense were working tight as one unit and offense was moving it really well. So I would just say working as one team.
For the Coon Rapids girls, the merger means they still get a chance to play. But more than that, it gives them a chance to be a true contender this season. So they're super eager for Game 1 on Thursday.
Spring Lake Park Casino Grays are pretty big rivals, so we play them our first game and last game of the season, so I'm kind of pumped up to play them.
The girls hope their new co-op can do incredible things this spring. But they also know how fast the season goes, so they plan to soak it all in and leave everything on the field at the same time.
I just love every aspect of it, and being here just makes me so happy. The wins and losses, no matter what it is. And so, yeah, I'm just really excited for a great season. Even if it might not go our way all the time, I think it'll be super fun.
So they will start at Totino on Thursday, and then they are at Irondale next Monday, and we will be following the Spring Lake Park Panthers as and adopting them as our own here on Sportsnight.
You know, if we can't have a team here at Coon Rapids, we'll take another one.
But there's a fair amount of Coon Rapids players on that squad, you know, both coaches, both boys and girls, talked about the need to expand the involvement from both communities, Spring Lake Park and Coon Rapids, from a younger level, get youth teams going again so that they will begin to rebuild their programs.
Which would be really nice to see.
The girls program may or may not go through a rebrand after this season. As we talked about, it just sort of happened just in the last couple of months. They were able to get it together, and you know, interesting that the two captains we talked to actually play together on the same club team.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So one from each
I like
school.
That. I like
so
that.
they have a history together, and things are going well, coming together pretty quickly, and we certainly wish them all the best this year. We hope the weather will continue to cooperate with all of our programs. We will be at the baseball field on Tuesday, live at 4:30 as the Cardinals have their first game of the season against Centennial. We'll see the boys volleyball team again against Anoka on Wednesday, and then we'll see some more baseball next Tuesday. It's like Tuesdays, the rest of the month, I think we have baseball. So looking forward to seeing a lot of the Cardinals on Diamond. But that is going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro and Jerry Grant, I'm Joe Yund saying goodnight.